Give me a little intro there, Gomer. There's no turning back now.
Let's put on the show.
You're listening to, oh gosh, this is episode 92 of the Station 71 podcast. My name is Mario, and this week I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Beth,
Brian,
and Kirsten.
So thank you everyone for joining us for our second anniversary live show. I apologize for the delay. I had some very weird technical errors on my end.
We're here now.
We're here now. That's what matters. We're excited to celebrate our second anniversary with you guys. So thanks everybody for joining us. And let's start our show off with some news. Do we have any news this week? We are so underprepared for this. Wow.
Well, hey, we want this to be interactive. So anybody that's out there listening, this isn't like our normal weekly podcast. We really want you to message us, write us questions, anything you want to talk about, let us know and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, so I can pull up some news stuff this week and we can talk about that real quick. While everybody starts to filter in, this is, like Brian said, this is kind of an unconventional show for us. But yeah, we're really excited to have everybody here. So let me pull up our trusty news sources. Let's talk about some very Merry Christmas stuff. I know that's everybody's favorite thing that we've got going on right now. This last week, it was announced that some attraction overlays are going to be coming to the Very Merry Christmas Party this year. It looks like a few attractions like the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor will have a new show that will be Christmas themed. Space Mountain will be filled with lighting and higher energy holiday tunes. The Tomorrowland Speedway will be filled with thousands of lights and stylized decor. In Fantasyland, the Mad Tea Party will feature 4 new holiday combos of lights and music. And yeah, that's it. So lots of exciting stuff coming to Very Merry. Maybe some stuff that will get me back down there and on some of these attractions that I don't typically go on.
Yeah,
I'm excited they're doing the overlays. I feel like it's time, and they need some way to bring it up to not so scary levels of goodness.
Yeah. I am a bit surprised at the attractions that they chose to do these overlays on, but I think it'll be interesting. Teacups is kind of weird. I don't know. That one stood out mostly to me.
The one that stood out the most to me was the Speedway. That's
yeah.
The best Christmas overlay ever would be the Christmas gift of getting rid of the Speedway.
Yes.
Surprise, it's closed.
Permanently this time. If only.
Mm-hmm.
So another news thing that we've got going on this week, actually coming in today, Summer 2019 VIP pass holder perks were added to Epcot, including dining discounts and guaranteed show seatings. Looks like Disney has announced some new Summer 2019 VIP pass holder perks from July 29th to August 18th at the American Gardens Theater. Pass holders will get guaranteed seating for Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live.
Exciting.
It's something.
There's also a couple other things. So at the Fife and Drum and Block and Hans, pass holders will receive 10% discount on non-discounted food and beverage items, including alcohol.
Okay.
And the Coral Reef will continue to offer. The Coral Reef is going to offer a 10% discount to annual pass holders who dine there and purchase an adult entree from July 29th to August 28th. Yeah, nice. So that's exciting. Some pass holder perks.
Yeah, it's always exciting when they add stuff, even if it's little stuff.
Yeah. Somebody will want to take advantage of it, so.
Yeah. Makes me feel seen.
So I guess let's move there into some of our actual stuff that we wanted to discuss this week. I know we kind of had some trivia and stuff planned. We had some listener questions that started to filter in. If there's
I'm
anything
back.
you guys... Oh, welcome back. Oh, there's two of you now. I'm gonna kick the other Kirsten out.
Kick fake Kirsten out.
Actually, I'm gonna leave that because the last time we tried to do that, we ended up banning Brian from the call. So I don't want to ban Kirsten from the live show.
Oh man.
Anyway, technical difficulties aside, we've got some stuff lined up tonight. We have some listener questions that we've kind of... I know we talked about this on our last listener questions episode. We had some stuff we wanted to cover that may be a little more in depth and might actually take the live show. And then we have some trivia that we've got going on that we'll mix in here and there, and just some stuff that we want to take a look back on from this last year. So I guess first we should dive into some questions. If you guys have anything you want to hear us talk about, any questions you might have for us, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we'll talk about it on the air. So you guys have the questions up?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So do we want to just go down through the list and we'll just start from the top?
That works with me.
Sure. So the first one that we have on this list is a top 5 songs that you have to have on your Disney playlist.
Man, I really should have thought about this prior to the show.
I have an actual list.
Brian, prepare.
All right.
We wouldn't get anything done if it wasn't for how prepared Brian can be most of the time.
Well, we wouldn't have a podcast if you didn't do the technical stuff behind it either. So, it's give and take, right?
That's fair.
Let's see. I have kind of an odd list. I went around a bunch of different places. But anyways, I'll just get to it. Number 1 is I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
Good one.
Yeah, it's the best get pumped Disney song ever, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 2, kind of a deep cut, Pictures in My Head from the Muppets.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good, yeah. That's I wasn't ready to be so emotional when I watched that movie the first time, but that was a really good one. I really love that. Zippity Doo Dah, another one of my favorites. Not only for its history with Disney, but also I love Splash Mountain, and it's probably the most iconic song from it. Let's Go Fly a Kite, Mary Poppins. And then this one, definitely one of my favorites, and even super special to me now because me and my wife had our first dance to it, but A Whole New World from Aladdin.
Aww.
Aw.
Is this only movie songs or can we use part music too?
I say use park music.
Okay, then my number 1 would be the whole Witches soundtrack.
Oh, of course.
There
I don't
it
know why we
is.
didn't see that
I've
coming.
actually been
Not off
listening
early.
to it in my car all week, and I'll be like, oh, one more time, because it takes me an hour to get to and from work, and so that's at least 4 run-throughs of the whole show, and I'm like, okay, just one more time, then I'm going to take the CD out, just one more time.
Do you do the little the cues and everything with it?
I mean, yeah, because I'm like, ooh, can I still remember exactly what firework would be going off here? How many?
Wow.
Yeah. Also, How Far I'll Go from Moana, because that it hadn't been out long whenever Eli was a baby, and whenever he would wake up all night long, I would sing that to him to try and make him go back to sleep. Belle, the reprise. Tale as Old as Time, because that's just how it is. And then I would say Part of Your World, probably. Very typical.
Nice.
Do you have...
I was just going to say, I see in the chat, we have a first-time viewer that asks, what is Station 71? So we should probably establish that.
That's probably a good idea. And then we can go back through some of these because there's a couple in here that people are shouting out their Disney soundtracks.
Yes.
So we are a Walt Disney World podcast. We talk pretty much every week unless something comes up, which happens a lot.
Oh, I thought you meant where did Station 71 come from?
Oh, okay. Well, that
I don't
too.
know.
That
The
would make a
name?
lot
Well,
more
let's do
sense.
both.
because I don't know how somebody stumbled into this without knowing who we were, but
It happens. You never know. Yeah, so we talk Disney every week. We like to do history, touring planning, a little mix of pretty much everything. But we started because I made a post on Reddit and I was like, I want to do a Disney podcast, and these guys responded, and that's pretty much the rest is history.
Aren't you glad that you made that post before the Walt Disney World subreddit went down the toilet? Can you imagine the type of people that would be responding to that post now? They wouldn't be as cool as us, I'll tell you that.
The funny thing
Oh, he
is,
said both. Okay, both. Okay. Yeah.
so also, I mean, we kind of like toyed around with the name for a while. We had a really hard time coming up with something.
That wasn't already used.
Yeah, that was the real big thing, was like everything is a Disney podcast already. But we ended up settling on station because radio station, and someone pointed out to me that like trains, yeah, and that was not what I thought of when I came up with that, but I'll take credit for that. And then 71 because 71 is the year that Walt Disney World opened, so it kind of just fit. It was perfect, and here we are.
It's only like a year and 3 months till you can make your DVC request for the 50th.
If you can't tell, we're all excited for the 50th, and that's probably going to be the next time that I'm down there too. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah.
so long.
Well, I mean, we've had this conversation. I definitely cannot afford to do Disney for the next like year, just because, you know, wedding planning and all of that fun jazz.
True.
If I spend any money, I'm in trouble.
Plus flying. I always forget how expensive flights are since I drive.
Yeah. So the other thing, I guess we should use that trivia question that's in here as our first trivia question, because I almost spilled the answer to that one.
Oh yeah, I did too. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, you're from."
So, for those of you that are watching in the chat, how we're going to do trivia tonight, and I'll probably say this a couple times just as people stagger in. So we're going to ask questions. There's going to be questions based on things that we've talked about on the show. There's going to be things that just may end up being like general Disney trivia, stuff about us. What was that, Kristen?
I'm just appreciating that somebody's saying that Disney is a totally different pot of money from your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it should
I
be.
mean,
that's like your normal stomach and your dessert stomach.
You guys keep saying that, but that is not how it's gonna work. But yeah, so the first trivia question that I guess we can throw out there, and we're gonna go by who pops up first on our screen. So if you know the answer to the question, type all of the answers or whatever the answer is in the chat, and we'll be able to respond from there. And yeah, the one who gets the most points at the end wins a prize. Is that correct? We have multiple prizes. I just can't remember how we were planning to divvy those out.
I think what we were going to do is total it up at the end, and whoever got the most correct answers gets to pick from the prizes, and then we're going to give the other ones that they don't pick out at random to people that participate in general. Right.
Okay. So, first question on our trivia is, where are all four of the hosts from? If you know it, type it in the chat. The first person that pops up.
You just have to give states.
Yes. Yeah. States.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever been like super specific on the show, but
don't type our addresses because
oh, please.
Yeah, I'm getting off if that happens.
And we can keep talking. The first person that pops up, I'll call it out.
Let's go through the rest of these questions so they don't get too far behind. Best vegetarian restaurant, Beth. I'm going to take that one.
Yeah.
I will say that there are actually pretty good vegetarian options at almost every restaurant that I've been to at Disney World. But like as far as like the best selection, it's like my go-to is to say Picos Bill because you can kind of like make your own stuff. But my favorite place is I really like the veggie burger at Restaurantosaurus. So take that for what it's worth.
Are they doing family style dining now? Aren't they?
No, I think they have like a kind of pick a meal option where you pick like an entree and a side and a drink for a set price, or like a burger, a side and a drink for a set price, but not family style as far as I know.
Okay. I thought I saw that somewhere. What else?
But yeah, and they're also, if there are any vegetarians watching, go check out, there's this little pamphlet you can get, I think at the front of the parks, where you get the Times Guide, and it's plant-based options in all over Walt Disney World. It tells you where you can get good options.
And from working in one of the restaurants, the chefs usually really enjoy, like, if they're not somewhere that has vegetarian options on the menu, especially at like the quick service places, every chef that I ever met like really enjoyed making something, you know, totally off the menu, just because it was like something different from what they did every day. So if all else fails, just ask.
Oh, also I will say I've never been to Trails End, but I've heard that there is a chef there that is super open to making vegetarian and vegan options. And Trails End brunch, I don't know if the whole restaurant is kind of a buffet or all you can eat style, but I know for a fact that the brunches, and they'll literally bring you like big plates of vegetarian or vegan stuff if you request it on the days that this particular chef is working. I think it's like Tuesday through Sunday or Sunday through Tuesday, something like that.
And I don't know if it's always been this way, but I was just looking up the menu for Whispering Canyon, and they have like, they're kind of known for their all you can eat skillets for like barbecue or whatever, but they have now a vegetarian one. Which I thought was cool.
Oh yeah, I think I read that. I want to give that a shot.
What's the next question?
I don't know if you guys answered this because I'm pretty sure you asked, but Julia, who asked that, said I'm vegetarian. So,
Nice. Cool.
And throwing it out there, Aria, she got the point for that one. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually had that question correct, but the timing was just one after the other.
Yeah.
So that was quick. That was close.
Weirdest.
Whoever said USA, we are going to need to be a little bit more specific on some of these questions, but technically you were right.
I want to say that Sam was the first one to say that, and that would be our buddy that watched all of the Disney movies. So we got to give you some credit there. He did later comment and give the actual correct ones.
Oh, man.
Weirdest experience you've had at the parks?
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
That's-
okay. I have one. So, gosh, this had to be like at least 10 years ago. One of the big trips that we went on with my family, my cousin and I decided to ride Test Track, and we were getting off. Him and I were in front of everybody as we were leaving the line, and we were having a conversation. My mom and dad were behind us, and as we were walking, apparently a small child had a little piece of poop roll out of his diaper in the walkway.
Nice. That's
And I
solid.
managed to slide in it. So that is the
Oh,
worst experience that I
no.
have ever had.
That's awful.
Best part is that my parents saw the whole thing happen and didn't warn me.
Man.
Gross.
Mine, definitely whenever I was working there and some giant man ripped off my name tag because I wouldn't let him stand in the walkway to watch Wishes, and then security took him away. But also whenever, I don't think I've told this story, Will and I went in high school, and I remember we were waiting outside of, what's the car one? Lights, Motors, Action. And it was super hot. It was like the end of May. And so this woman comes up and she has a toddler, and the toddler is like throwing a fit, and we're not really paying attention because we're just like waiting by the right stroller. And so we're just kind of, you know, when you're like staring and you're just kind of looking at nothing, but like there's a person in your eye line. And so apparently she thought that I was like staring at her. So she started yelling at me about like why I was staring at her kid crying. And like, I was just like, I didn't even know what to say because it was just out of nowhere. And then she finally like stopped yelling at me and walked away. And I was just like, what happened? Like, it was crazy. Anyway, no Disney magic.
Just like instantly started yelling at you.
Yes. Well, like we had just been standing there and we're kind of watching her, like, and her kid, I guess she's putting him in the stroller. I don't know. I didn't have kids then. And like we were just hot and like waiting. And you're just like gazing into the distance. And she happened to be in front of me. And so after a few seconds, she just started yelling at me. It was very strange.
There are so many people in our chat that are sympathizing for you right now. I just want you to know that right now.
Yes. Oh, DCP in 2015. Yeah. And she's the one who said bring back wishes 2019. Amen.
You have a friend there for sure.
Sam also asked, said, Kirsten, I love your painting leads to a question. What's your favorite bit of Disney merchandise that you have ever bought?
Let me look around my room now as I have all my Disney merch behind me.
Man,
this is hard.
This is me like trying to figure out what I want to grab and show because I'm sure
Probably
I've got
my
something
books,
here.
like probably all of my Disney books. I mean, that's like nerdy, but I just love like Disney War and all of Marty Sklar's books. I don't know. Or I do have one of these that's the 12 by 12 that is like an actual Thomas Kincaid, not like a cheapo wrap one from Amazon. That's the Magic Kingdom Castle. So that too.
nice.
Let's see.
I feel like my favorite merchandise that I have is not stuff that I bought. Like I have this painting right here that my brother did for my birthday that's really awesome watercolor of the castle. But my favorite merchandise is actually something that cannot be bought.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
Don't
Was
anybody
it stolen?
paddle. Nobody
What is it stolen?
Nobody paddle.
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
you're that
how
person.
could you?
It wasn't me. I'm not gonna name who it
Wait,
was, but it was
hold
a
on.
gift.
Hold it back up because the camera flashed away when we all talked. I
don't know if they do this anymore, but
They
for
don't.
anyone that doesn't know what this is they used to give this out at the beginning of the line and say like, hey, give this to the cast member when you're about to get on the ride, and then they would kind of determine your wait time from it. So they could update the little queue outside of the ride. But yeah, it was a gift. I did not take it myself.
And thank you to whoever said I have a radio voice because I hate my voice so much and I'm super self-conscious about it. And I feel like I shouldn't host a podcast because my voice is so terrible. So I appreciate that.
Aw.
So I narrowed it down to a really dumb piece of merchandise that I love a lot. So we were there for the 45th anniversary and I got this really neat 45th anniversary like 3/4 sleeve shirt, but unfortunately Disney shirts kind of suck a lot, and if you look at it, it's basically see-through at this point.
Oh wow.
I do have a lot of 40th merchandise because that's when I did my program was the 40th anniversary. So I've been planning since then to go for the 50th. Like it's been a long time coming.
Nice.
I love this shirt, but I can't wear it anymore, and it makes me so sad.
I don't know, like my go-to would be like all of my pins, but I feel like that's kind of a cop-out answer, but there's all my pins for anybody that's interested. I know you can't see any of those like that.
Not your
but
Lego castle?
yes, I do have a Lego castle over there too. Other
The worst part of this is like Brian's just sitting here flaunting all of his merch. He's got the Haunted Mansion Trader Sam's mug. He's got that cool sci-fi frisbee, like all this neat stuff hanging on the wall. And I feel like he's about to drop something on us that we're not expecting.
No, because this is where I keep the shelf of like my, I guess, like extra special Disney merch.
Then why is all that Country Bear stuff up there?
Well, I was getting to
There
what
it
my
is.
favorite one was, and I think it was a gift that my wife got me, and it was this classic Big Al mug. Anybody that listens to the podcast should know it would be something Country Bear. So there it is.
Of course.
I want to see this 25th anniversary sweatshirt with the blow up castle. Somebody
Yes.
said their mom has that. That's so crazy.
Yeah,
and
I
yes,
would
I
love to
was
see
there
that.
during the Year of a Million Dreams. Caitlin, I was there. I didn't get a dream.
I believe I was also there for that.
Dream. Oh, you
Oh.
weren't one of the million.
No, I was not. I did not get to stay in the castle.
Man,
Oh,
the
and hi,
bucket
Alan.
list thing.
Oh gosh.
Is it
Let's
time
jump
for
down.
another trivia?
Sure, let's throw another trivia out there. Do you want to pick
Alright.
one off the list?
Well, I was going to go with the other one that I put in the wrong section, so we can go ahead and get that crossed off. All right, now, if you're playing along, listen closely to how I ask this question, all right, because there's a little bit of a trick to it. So, all right, in our history of the 1964 to 65 World's Fair episode, we discussed the 4 attractions that Walt Disney and the Imagineers developed for the fair. What were the names of the 4 attractions developed for the fair?
I don't think I will be very impressed if somebody gets all 4 of these.
And the first one to get all 4 of them, like type all 4 of them in a single comment, gets it.
Mm-hmm. And just so you know, so pay attention to how I ask that, because there is a little bit of a trick with this one.
Now, while everyone's typing in our chat, Julia said Kate and I were grand marshals in the Year of a Million Dreams. That's really awesome.
Sweet.
Glad to have someone around that got a dream for the Year of a Million
Ooh,
Dreams.
somebody had opening day pamphlets and tickets. Whenever I was working there, I actually had a few people come through with original, like the e-ticket things, because they're still valid. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have like a day pass from, I don't know, 1980 or something, they'll still take it. But they take it away, they put a big ugly stamp on it, and I think they punch a hole in it. So
Yeah.
I would keep it.
Same, for sure. If I had one of those like non-expiring tickets, I would not be giving that up.
Nobody's right yet.
We're getting a lot of responses. I haven't seen a correct one, not that has all 4 correct yet. So keep trying at it.
Yeah, very close so far.
Mm-hmm.
While people continue to guess, let's go into this one question that we have here that says, what is your go-to food sample and drink at Food and Wine?
Cheese soup, Canada. The end.
Is it weird? Is it weird if I drop my my Disney confession that I do not usually do Food and Wine?
You know, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I definitely like Festival of the Arts more now. Just because it's like not just about the food, it's about the artistry. You know, it's like culinary arts. So like the food you're getting tastes good, but it also looks really cool most of the time. But
Can we give him a hint? Sorry, keep talking in a second though.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
We're very we're on fire right now.
Hang on.
One out of
Someone got it.
Oh,
Who was it?
They did. It was.
Was it Sam?
It was Sam. He was the first one. Now, I'm going to say, I know I threw the trick question in there, and a couple of people fell for it. The correct answer is Ford's Magic Skyway, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, It's a Small World, and the trick one was Progress Land, which then became Carousel of Progress. So I know a couple of people had said Carousel of Progress, but technically it wasn't developed for the fair. Progress Land was developed for the fair, and they changed the name once they brought it back to Disneyland.
That was tricky.
So that was a really good job for Sam to come through and get that.
Good job, Sam.
I should probably start keeping score better than I am. We also had Christina in our chat said Food and Wine gets expensive really quickly. It does. That is half the reason that I don't like it.
Yeah. But to answer the question, I don't know if I really have a go-to drink because I feel like all of the Food and Wine kiosk drinks are kind of a waste of money because you get so little alcohol and they usually are not like the best tasting. But my go-to food item is the vegan Greek nachos. Those are amazing to the point where I literally looked up a recipe so that I could make them at home.
Wow.
Let's see. Mine are going to be The Hawaiian pork sliders, those are really good. Get those almost every time, and that's another one that we too have like found the recipe for and made. I get the lobster roll too at the American Pavilion almost every time we go. And then I was trying to find, because like same thing as Beth said, I like the drinks that you get at the kiosk usually are like they're nice for tasting stuff, but it's really not that great to actually get a drink for. So I was kind of like trying to look up a list of the menu this year, and this is listed as a beverage, so I'm just going to go with it. You might not agree with it being a beverage, but a Dole Whip with rum, I think, is
That's a
it's going to be
beverage.
my go-to drink. Even though it's not like you can obviously get it at other places than just Food and Wine, but
Yeah.
I'm counting it.
Yeah. Now, do you do the coconut rum or the dark rum?
I normally do the dark rum.
Nice.
I think the coconut's just like a
It
little
makes
bit
it
too much
too
sweetness.
sweet. Yeah.
Looks
Plus, me and Malibu aren't friends anymore.
So we got a couple things in the chat about Food and Wine as well. It looks like Gil Wainwright, if I pronounce anyone's name is wrong, I'm horrible at pronouncing things. Said, I'm mainly looking forward to Food and Wine for the cute Figment merch, which I can kind of agree with that. I'm a sucker for Figment stuff.
Yeah. Same.
Caitlin said cucumber jalapeno marg. Yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds
and Kauai
interesting.
Reina?
I would try it, but I don't know if it sounds good.
Hamburger egg rolls. I've only been to Food and Wine like once. So
Didn't
I
they
don't
used to
remember
have
those.
something like that in a Frontierland or Adventureland? Cheeseburger egg rolls or hamburger egg rolls?
I don't know if I ever remember that.
I think so. That sounds familiar.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, here we have another question. Best late night restaurant.
I think it's supposed to be date night.
Best date night restaurant.
Night.
Without kids.
Any restaurant without kids.
Yeah.
The
I would
best date night
say
restaurant.
Cali Grill is a pretty typical one, or else Citrico's. I think Citrico's, as far as like the high-end restaurants, does not get enough love. And it's always amazing, and it's usually pretty quiet. It's easier to get into than Cali Grill. And you won't feel out of place in the lobby of the Grand Floridian all dressed up.
True.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason I don't go to the Grand Floridian is because I always feel out of place when I'm there.
Let's see.
I would
gotta
say
say I haven't done, I don't think, any real fine dining at Disney World.
It used to be Le Cellier, but now I feel like the internet has really ruined Disney World a little, because now everybody knows about it. And so it's like, I don't think it's as good as it used to be. It's impossible to get into. And it's in the park. So it's really hard to like go back to your room and get dressed up and not look like a scrub in park restaurants, I think. And everybody around you in a park restaurant also looks like a scrub, which doesn't help.
I mean, I'm surprised that Kirsten hasn't said Victoria and Albert, because
I've never been there. But I don't think I would like it because I'm too picky, in all reality. I want to go, but
that would be the ultimate date night, though. I see. I
Yeah.
also would say, like, Be Our Guest has the atmosphere, but it's way too pricey at this point.
for what
I
it
wasn't
is,
crowded.
and people are
Yeah.
crowded, and there's a million kids there. So you won't have your kids, but you'll have everybody else's.
Even worse.
But I mean,
one that I'll suggest is Ale and Compass at the Yacht Club. I think it's more upscale than most of the stuff that you see around the parks, but it's also not like you wouldn't feel uncomfortable there if you came from the parks and were just wearing whatever you'd worn that day. But it's really good food, so check that one out.
She said, is there anywhere in Disney Springs? I would say Morimoto. It's amazing. We did the what do they do, where they bring you the Wagyu beef and you have to buy it by the ounce, and you have to get at least 3 ounces, and they cook it at your table. It was very extravagant, but it was like the best bite of steak I've ever had in my life. I dream.
feel like
about
you should be sponsored by them because you have
You-
like highly regard them so much.
what the
Morimoto. I feel like
Oh,
every time someone's like, "Where's the best food for this or that or whatever?" You're like,
it's a little
Morimoto.
adventurous, but it was really good. And it's a place. I mean, I feel like everywhere in Disney Springs is overrun with children.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to try the boathouse. Have any of y'all ever been to the boathouse?
nope.
No.
I have to agree with Allison though. Homecoming is
Oh.
like my favorite sit-down restaurant
I
in
do
Disney
wanna go.
Springs.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
good.
Wouldn't necessarily consider it like a date night meal. I mean, if you want to, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's either way, whatever you consider it, great food. Highly recommend.
I see. You can eat so much food there. Like we sat down, we had dinner, and we were like, okay, yeah, let's just order whatever we want. I got chicken and donuts, and Andy got like just the fried chicken. And as we were walking in, we were eyeing up a piece of cake that was like the size of my head. There's so much food there. It's so good. I cannot like put that on a higher pedestal. It was one of my favorite restaurants that we did on our last trip.
That's why I want to go to the boathouse, because they do a baked Alaska that's like 18 inches tall or something. I don't even know if I would like baked Alaska, but I want it.
Just because the desserts are what always like get me.
Yes.
Also, Amanda and Caitlin both recommend the Edison for date night. And I would agree if you don't want to talk a lot because it's kind of loud in there. But if you want to dance, or if you go during the day, it's pretty quiet. So yeah, I love the Edison.
Some of the they have some more like quiet, kind of like loungy areas in there too that you can like grab a drink and sit at. But yeah, the main restaurant is kind of loud and there's a lot of stuff going on.
And Caitlin also says you have to go out to the bar out on the water of the boathouse. No kids there, so that's a good suggestion. Let's see.
Did everybody
Also-
find their music?
What was that?
What's that?
Their Disney playlist?
Oh yeah, we didn't. We got to
I think
circle
we
back
got
around
away
to
from
that.
it.
We got a couple up here that I know are going to end up being thinkers, like the other one that we skipped, which is top 3 cast member costumes.
Oh gosh.
Uh,
I'll tell you what's not in my top 3 favorite cast member costume, and it's Pizza Fari. Those are the ugliest costumes.
yeah.
Hard question.
I'll try
Alright,
to do my playlist while you guys think cast member costumes.
Well, I have my 3 written down if y'all want me to go.
Oh,
ahead and
man.
go.
Yeah.
Mr. Prepared.
I know.
I read the emails and I answered the questions.
I read the emails too, but I didn't answer those questions.
2 of them are fairly obvious, I think. Tower of Terror and Haunted Mansion. I think those are like what most people would say. But one that I don't think gets enough love would be the Wilderness Explorer costumes.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Animal
That's a good
Kingdom.
one, yeah.
That's a really good
Yeah.
one.
You know what another good one is? The Jungle Cruise cast members.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
on my list. I don't know where I'm going to put that, but that's going to be on my list.
I would say. Oh, wait, Beth, aren't you gonna do? Were you gonna do your playlist?
Oh, I was just going to kind of go off the cuff because I didn't prepare it, but the songs that kind of popped into my head were I love There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow and Fantasmic would probably be in my top 5. I really like Friends on the Other Side from Princess and the Frog. And
Surprise, surprise.
Delight from Tangled. And for my 5th one, I'm going to go Zero to Hero from Hercules.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of those ones where you sing in the car because you don't want anyone to hear you try to hit those high notes.
I do love I Won't Say I'm in Love. I should have said that.
That's a good one too.
Can I just say the whole Hercules soundtrack?
I mean, I said the whole Wishes soundtrack. So.
There you go.
But a lot of Wishes is comprised of Hercules. The I Can Go the Distance. You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of one of the big themes. So
True.
We got a couple
Um,
other in here. Terry said, "I just can't wait to be king," and Rena said, "Friends on the Other Side is so underrated. One of the best villain songs."
For sure.
is the Nomad Lounge good? Has anybody been to that?
I love Nomad Lounge. I actually
wanna
just
go.
went there on my last trip because I realized I hadn't been there in so long. I really like their patio, but I will say that they're always super busy, so don't go if you're in a rush. But the drinks are good. They have like really nice specialty drinks, and they have like a small plates. And you can also get a few of the items that are on the Tiffin's menu there. I think you can get the bread service from Tiffin's.
And I'm pretty
I
sure
had
Joe Rody likes to hang out there whenever he's in town. So
well, that's another perk then. But yeah, I love Nomad Lounge. I would definitely recommend it if it's a nice spot to just hang out for a little while and take a break.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Nomad Lounge.
who said Pizza Planet? Their name is just all time. Pizza Planet gone now. I miss
It is. It's Pizza Rizzo now, right?
It
Still,
is.
I will never stop complaining about how there's no Pizza Planet in Toy Story Land.
Yeah, no, terrible oversight.
Let's see. When is everybody's next trip?
I don't have one
Sunday.
planned.
Brian.
January, the end of January, finally.
My next trip is next month for the Galaxy's Edge pass holder preview. Yay!
So do you guys want to talk about that for a little bit? Because we didn't we kind of briefly touched on that in our group chat, but I haven't had the chance to ask you guys anything about what you're excited for and what you plan on doing. And I want your details.
And I can talk about my boss going at Disneyland. I mean, if y'all want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I would love to hear just everyone's general Star Wars thoughts, because we've kind of put this a little bit on hold since we were doing like a lot of Skyliner and Star Wars Land Watch at the same time. So I want to get back to this. I want to know what everyone's excited for, and then we can finally put it to bed until you guys go and then tell us exactly what you think of it.
I mean, I would say obviously Smuggler's Run. I want to see how interactive it is. You know, I'm hoping it's actually like the choices you make have a huge impact on the ride, and it's not kind of just like you're going through the motions with it. But other than that, I really just want to see the theming in the land. I want to see the details that they're putting into everything, because that's what I love so much about Pandora is like we can always get excited about if there's a new ride coming or something like that, but I really want to see how far they take the development of the theming.
What I will say about my boss being there in Disneyland, and I really wonder how it's going to translate to Disney World, just because Disney World is so much bigger, it's so much more crowded, was how immersive it was, not just the atmosphere, but the cast members too, because she said they totally act like you're on a different planet. Like she asked for, she went up to one with her cell phone and asked if they had a phone charger, and they were like, I don't know what that device is. Like, and then she was asking about these metal gift cards that they're selling, I guess, kind of on a limited basis. And she asked in one of the stores, and the person was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you go to the Rebellion Outpost, they might be able to help you. And like the place where you make the lightsabers, she went up and she was like, is this where you make the lightsabers? And they were like, no, ma'am, we don't sell lightsabers. That's illegal on Batuu or whatever. We only sell scrap metal or scrap parts. And so like the cast members are super into it. And like, I know she said that Chewbacca was just walking around, not, where they do the actual like lineup meet and greets. And the guy was like, Chewbacca's on the move. If you'd like to get a facial scan, you'll have to follow him. So that, she said, was like the really kind of crazy thing. And it was super immersive. But she's not like a big Disney person or a big Star Wars person. So, I don't know.
The one thing that I want you to do for me, Brian, because you or Mr. complain about this, I want you to download the Play app before you go. and tell me if they've made it any better to include with Galaxy's Edge, because I've heard that Disneyland is finally starting to put some of that stuff in place, and it makes it that much better.
Well,
One
hey,
of the things
I'll tell you
that-
one thing. They couldn't have made it any worse. So
Well, one of the things that I heard is that apparently how it tracks your progress from Smuggler's Run is through the Bluetooth. That seems to be the general consensus on it, but no one's like actually inside confirmed that. Just seems to be like the coincidence of like someone was on the ride with Bluetooth on their phone and it connected to the ride and transferred their data over from their last run kind of thing. But I would be interested to see if your opinion changes based on the stuff that they're supposedly rolling out for Galaxy's Edge.
yeah, and that's the thing is what I was so disappointed about with the Play app. I mean, it wasn't. If it was meant to just be a little, Disney game app with some trivia on it, that's one thing. But from the get-go, they were saying that this was going to change how immersive, your interactions were at Disney and everything. And it really wasn't that. So I knew it had potential. And if any place is going to do it and do it right, it's going to be Disney. So I'm really hoping that they actually put it to good use at Galaxy's Edge.
I haven't uninstalled it from my phone because I just don't uninstall any apps from my phone. I'm that person. And the other day it updated and I was looking at like the update notes on the App Store and it was like added more trivia questions. And I'm like, oh, so there's not 5 trivia questions on this thing anymore. Oh. But what about you, Beth? What are you excited for?
Not surprising to anyone. I'm excited about Oga's Cantina.
Yeah, because you don't watch Star Wars, right?
No, I mean,
throwing you under the bus.
No, it's fine. I've said it on the podcast a million times. I am the first person to admit that I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I've seen none of the original trilogy, and I've seen one of the prequels, I think. My boyfriend says I've seen 2, but I don't remember one of them at all. And I've seen the most recent ones, like the new trilogy or whatever you want to call it. And they're fine. Like, I don't hate it by any means, but I am not like a big Star Wars person, but I am a big fan of Imagineering. So that's what I'm really excited about, is just seeing the land and the details. And like Brian said, the interactivity with Smuggler's Run and and the cantina, because all the drinks look really cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to come back and tell me about it, because like I've been watching Disneyland's version of it and like trying to contain my excitement and tell myself it's not possible to book a trip anytime soon, because that'll be the thing that'll pull me back in. But I gotta hold on.
Amanda is excited about the blue milk, and I'm also curious. Does anybody know? Do we know yet what that's gonna be? Is it just milk? Like,
it's some kind of.
It's berry flavored.
It's also, I heard it was plant-based too.
Because I will tell you, I hate the gray stuff. That was the biggest disappointment. I think it's so gross.
Really?
Yes, it tastes like nothing. It's.
I liked it.
Well, you also like country bears, so.
Oh man!
Shots fired. Ooh, here, let's do this one as a trivia question because Kirsten's throwing the country bear shade. We did an episode on movies that are based on attractions, and this is a question that we reference a lot on the show, apparently. What is the name of the main character from the Country Bear Jamboree movie? Should be an easy one.
Literally, if you've never seen this movie, you could probably still it's that stupid.
Think of the absolute dumbest pun that you could come up with for a name and just throw that out there.
Someone made a guess.
We first and last name. Yeah.
I swear, like, I was looking through our show notes and there was a lot of reference to this, and I'm sitting here like, this has got to be an easy trivia question. Heck, someone even sent you a picture of the Country Bear.
Yeah.
movies.
There we go.
We got 2 people had it almost the exact same time.
Barry Barrington.
Yes.
Man. And if you really want to watch a terrible movie, that's one for the books.
Oh my God. I'm just now looking at these trivia questions because I'm such a slacker. Can I ask this one?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Everybody get your fingers ready because everybody's going to know this if you've ever listened to the show once. Who is Kirsten's favorite celebrity?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, this is a Disney podcast, okay? Can we keep this to Disney discussions?
We have to reference this at least once, or else we don't cross off the Station 71 bingo.
True.
Yay! Somebody got it.
Oh, goodness.
Look at the chat.
Oh.
That was too easy.
And yes, I did not print this out for the podcast. It just sits on my desk in our
Come on,
office.
let's see it a little closer. Bring it a little closer. Let everybody see. There we go.
Nice
You have to
reflection.
talk so they can see it.
What?
You have to talk so your screen comes up.
Oh wait,
Oh.
hold on. I can push the button to make it come up. There we go.
Share. There.
Here's a question that's not on our show notes that maybe some people will know. Cher was actually on a Disney attraction featured as an animatronic. Does anybody know what attraction that was?
And there was a picture of her in a video on another attraction.
First person to guess one of those gets a point.
Yeah.
Christina says Cher walked so Mother Gothel could run.
It was physically based on Cher, in case anybody didn't know.
There we go.
We got a winner.
Yeah.
Superstar limo.
Yep.
And there was
Oh.
also a picture of her in the little movie in the animation pavilion at Hollywood Studios where Mushu was like the narrator. A picture of her from like the 86 Oscars came up at some point in that show.
Oh, nice. I did not know that, actually. I guess now might actually be a good time to say what our prizes are for our trivia winners and our participants.
Who should
Somebody gets to come with me to Vegas to meet Cher. Just kidding.
Oh, gosh. Kirsten.
Oh,
That's the
everybody
grand
just
prize.
signed off, actually.
Oh.
That's cold.
And I know I didn't throw this in there, but I'm going to throw something in to our prize pool, and let me go grab it while you guys show off the other prizes, because I think this one's pretty cool.
I don't actually have it up my contribution up here with me, but if you go onto social media, you can see a picture of it and it'll look better than if I showed it right now anyway. It is a pin of my favorite Disney princess, obviously, Tiana. So yeah, if you go to our Facebook or Twitter, I think all of our social media probably has a picture of it. It's a really cute little pin of her kissing Naveen.
Okay. Somebody said Cher is the scientist lady in Flight of Passage, right? No. I don't know who that is because I haven't been there, but no. Who is it?
It's like a Sigourney Weaver ripoff.
Oh, okay. No.
So this is the thing that I'm going to be throwing into the ring. I didn't tell any of you guys about this, but I was going through my stuff and I found this really cool Tangled trifold pin. It's a
that's
limited
awesome.
edition Timeless Classics pin. So they don't even have this in the parks anymore. This can go to one of our winners for the trivia stuff.
Sweet. And the ones that you will be getting if you win will be unopened in the box. But since I have mine right here, we have one of the Splash Mountain pop vinyls. And we also have one of the Haunted Mansion pop vinyls. So
Ooh.
those are up for grabs too.
Nice. So lots of cool prizes. Keep hanging out with us, keep answering trivia, and maybe you'll get the chance to pick one. So let's go back to some of our other discussion stuff that we got in here.
Also, while we're picking our next discussion topic, I think we should throw out there our Google call number if anybody wants to give us a call and chat with us on the air. If you want to call in, it is 561-899-6441.
I will say that may not work. So if we have some technical difficulties, I apologize in advance for that. But please do try to call in. I'll copy and paste it into the chat. That way we can maybe get some callers on here. And if you guys just want to, say something, if you want to chat with us, ask us some questions, feel free to give us a call.
Yeah.
We're going to try to make that work. And speaking of, it looks like we actually had a voicemail in here if we want to play that.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me see if this will go through.
Hey, Station 170.
Oh,
Hey, Station 71 podcast. This is Grant from Guy's Guide to Disney calling you guys just as I'm leaving Spider-Man Far From Home. I just want to wish you guys a very, very big second anniversary of the show. 2 years in a row. It's a huge thing. Y'all are awesome. Keep up the hard work, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
cool. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Grant. He called in last year too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
the warm wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Far From Home was awesome, by the way.
So good. I think that may actually be my favorite Marvel movie right now. Not
Yeah.
gonna throw any spoilers out there, but that is I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so it should fall pretty high on my list. But I really did love Far From Home.
Yeah, it was a good one for sure.
So let's see what else we got on here. Let's do some retrospective stuff. It's hitting 8:00 now. So we're going on to our second hour of this. Let's talk about some of the stuff that for our podcast, like a look back at some of the stuff for our podcast. First thing that we had on here was our favorite episode from the last year. I know what mine was.
Yeah, I think me and you definitely have the same one.
That was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Which one?
the Habab episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a unique experience, and I'm gonna just throw this all out there. When I emailed him, I didn't think he was gonna respond, just because I had been emailing people for like a really long time, trying to get just different people on the show and someone to just like talk about what makes Disney special to them, to us. And then Bob emailed back right away. He was super nice. I could not have asked for a better guest host on that show. And then he hung out with us. He played us some music. It was great. That was just the most fun that I have ever had unexpectedly.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing, like from my perspective. First of all, I had no idea that Mario had even sent out the emails. So I was literally at Typhoon Lagoon and like didn't have my phone on me. And I went back and checked and saw that there was like a bunch of messages in our chat. And he was like, yeah, Bob's coming on. And I freaked out because I was like, I didn't even know he'd sent out the emails. So I was super excited for that. But yeah, and then, we knew he was coming on. We had a couple of emails back and forth and everything. And once we sat down and like we're setting up to recording, he's like, hang on, let me get set up. And like, I heard him like start playing the piano a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to play on the show. So he was just a super awesome guy. He has a great show. And like for him to come on here and not only like talk with us, but also kind of like do, a snippet of his show was just incredible. So that was definitely my favorite of the year.
Oh, hang on one second. We have a call coming in. Let me pick that up.
I'm like, what is that?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
We heard that.
Yes, we can hear that. Can I ask who's calling?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, good. You can hear me.
Yes.
Hi, it's Sam and Charlie. We're the people who watched all the movies, calling from the UK. We had a bit of connection problem trying to get through.
Oh, it's okay. We've had a lot of connection problems, so I'm really happy that you got through to us. This is awesome. How are you guys doing? Hello?
We gotta give it time. It's coming from a far place.
All right.
Really good. It's about 1 a.m. here, so we're kind of tired, but we're pleased to be here listening to the anniversary.
That is so
Thank you.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So I have to ask
late.
you, I know we kind of maybe briefly asked you this before, and you're forever going to live on in our Station 71 history as the people that watched every Disney movie. Care to give us a little like quick recap of why you decided to do that and why, like, what your end result of all that was?
Yeah, so we were listening. Virtually the first episodes of the podcast we listened to was your double feature on all the movies, and I decided that that would be a really cool thing to do, and made my wife come along for the ride.
The best part about that is, like, we always talk about how the 4 parks in one day challenge is a lot. This is like that times a million. Like, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, if I'm honest. It was hard work. Like, we've enjoyed Disney movies more watching them because we wanted to, not because we had to.
Yeah. Were there any you particularly remember as like, wow, this is terrible?
Some of the ones of the war era, because although they were made by Disney, they're just not Disney movies at all. They're just propaganda. So that was an interesting tangent.
Home on the Range is also a valid answer to that.
It is the correct answer, actually, I would say.
No, there's a lot of really bad ones, but I think I kind of agree with that. That was
Also, yes.
That was one of the things that we came away from that episode from, was like, the war era movies aren't that great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling in, Sam. I really appreciate you guys giving us a call in and honestly doing all that hard work of watching all of those movies. Like I said, you're forever going to live on in Station 71 history to us.
Keep up the good work, guys. We really love the show. It brings a bit of Disney to us over here in the UK before we can make our trips over. So enjoy the anniversary and have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
So real quick, before we dive into like the next couple favorite episodes, I want to touch on this before we bounce off of the Yeehaw Bob thing. Terry said, I love that he said so many times how he does it to make people happy. And I think that was probably like my favorite takeaway from that, is that he is just a genuine person. And he does it to do the Disney magic that we all think like is just so natural to cast members. And that is like the one thing that I really, really enjoyed about talking to Bob and, you know, getting to hear from him.
Yeah. I hate that I wasn't able to be on that episode, but I'm also glad in a way because I had never watched him perform before. So actually, while I was driving down on my last trip, I was like, I'm going to listen to that episode and I'm going to go watch him perform on this trip. And I did that, and it was an absolute blast. I would highly recommend just take the time out of your vacation, go to Port Orleans, Riverside, and watch him perform. He is absolutely hilarious and entertaining. And I actually went up in one of his little intermissions and talked to him and mentioned that the podcast to him and how I hadn't been able to be on it. And he was like, well, let's do it again sometime. And I was like, yes, let's do it again. That would be great.
Yeah, he's just, it's funny. You don't think that those kind of people exist. And then you talk to someone like that and you're like, okay, yeah, no, that is not a stage persona. He is himself 100% of the time.
Yeah, he's just like this beaming ray of sunshine for sure.
So what about you guys? What's your favorite episode that we've done this last year?
Was our Fifth Gate episode like less than a year ago?
I think it was this year. We can just, you know what? Favorite episode we've done in the last 2 years, because we've done a lot of those that I can't remember.
That one, or I think like the spending the most money one. I like the competitions and the creative ones, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like the draft one too. That was really fun when we did the Disney draft and we designed a dream park. That was fun.
I think my favorite was probably the rants episode because it was really fun.
I need my own rant episode because I could go to for like a whole hour at least.
Yeah, we have enough fuel to probably do another one in the next few months.
Armchair Imagineering says, Gil, yes, definitely. I love that kind of stuff. That's my dream job.
We should well, let me find another trivia question to throw in here. But I know we kind of talked about maybe doing this as another live episode, but I think since it was our first topic, we should do some D23 predictions just in honor of the first official show that we ever actually put out as Station 71.
Oh, yeah.
We can think on that one, though, because I know that's kind of a hard question.
I got a kick out of one of these questions because I don't know who put it in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask it. I did not write this question, but what non-park activity does Brian consider to be a romantic evening out, despite his co-host and wife's criticisms?
That would be me.
Very specific one there.
That would be me.
Oh, the Yelp reviews. That was fun.
That was a really fun one. And the engagement one.
Engagement episode.
Hey, we got some right answers.
Everyone knew this one. I think I'm going to give that one to Charlie, though, because she got that one right.
Yeah.
I think Charlie is in the lead.
It could probably be romantic. I'll take your side.
Thanks.
You need someone on your side, I think.
Oh. I had another one that I was going to ask that we can throw in there, and I totally just lost it.
I like this one because everybody can just take a stab at it until somebody gets it right. But how many total animatronics are in Disneyland's version of Pirates?
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. Someone's got to know this, though. Charlie said that she agrees with you, Brian. So someone thinks that Putt-Putt is a romantic date idea.
See.
Oh, we got some guesses rolling in.
Some of them are awfully close.
I think we've got...
Ooh, somebody's very close.
Oh, I was going to say we've got two that are close, but no, we have someone that's really close now. Keep throwing the guesses out. I see someone said just guessing. That's probably the only way anyone's going to get it.
Yeah, for real. I don't know who would actually know this number. Do you want to say like within 2 or 3? How about it's an even number? That'll help break some of it down.
There you go. Oh, we're getting closer.
It is over 100.
There's one.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
128.
Yeah.
That was a really good one, and I have to give you all the credit for that, Brian, because that was from our Pirates episode.
And just to think,
and you did all the legwork on that.
It's still crazy to me to think that there was that many animatronics in, such an early Disney attraction. I mean, that was really, kind of the start. I mean, other than like Tiki Room, there wasn't a whole lot of other animatronic heavy rides at that time, and they just really went all out.
Yeah.
I want to ask this one. What company originally sponsored Dinoland USA? There's another piece of trivia that I will say when somebody gets this answer.
Oh. And Christina said, I'm putting my official request in for a Tower of Terror episode.
Yeah, we can totally do that.
That is,
guys, that's been on our that's been on our list of episodes to do for the last 2 years.
No, we have
I think that was one of the first ones.
It's hard. Okay, yes, McDonald's. And I will say the fun trivia. I might have said this before. When you're going through the line at Dinosaur, and you get to the main, where you get on the ride, and you look up all the pipes in the ceiling, there are yellow ones, red ones, and white ones, and they have the chemical formulas for mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup on them. And that
Always a fun piece.
that has nothing to do with dinosaurs.
So it looks like Caitlin was the one that got that right. So it looks like, just to give a leaderboard here, Charlie is in first place. And then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie for second place. So keep throwing those guesses out as we randomly throw out trivia for you guys. Yeah, so did you guys want to do any D23 predictions, or do you still want to think on that and we can do some of these other retrospective things?
I have a prediction, not necessarily maybe for D23, but my prediction in general, and they may announce this or may not, is that the Beauty and the Beast live stage show is going to be going away soon. Okay. I feel like that's a really old stage show that now that they have, like, once Galaxy's Edge opens, I think they're going to start looking towards other areas of other parks to tinker with. And I feel like that would be a good option to premiere a new stage show for the 50th.
Sadly, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It won't break my heart like Wishes, but I'll still be sad.
I'm going to throw one out there, and I think someone's going to kill me for saying this. I think that we're going to hear about a updated nighttime show either in Hollywood Studios that ties into Galaxy's Edge, or we hear about a nighttime show that's going to replace Fantasmic.
No.
Hey, it happened to me. It can happen to you.
No.
No one is safe.
I know. If anything, I feel like Fantasmic, they could just update it and it would cost them a lot less money and it would be fine. I would
agree.
Update.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that too. I'm not saying that I don't think an update is out of the question, but I think something in there is either going to change or we're going to get a new show entirely.
Yeah. Oh,
Mallory says, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, speaking of fireworks and Hollywood Studios, I also read a little fun cast member interaction. Somebody at Disneyland asked a cast member in Galaxy's Edge about, like, pointed at the fireworks, and we're like, what is that? Like, joking around to see what their answer would be. And the cast member said, like, Aga or Oga, I don't know how you say it, probably won a bet that she placed on a race and she likes to celebrate or something. So I thought that was a cute way to explain the fireworks and being able to see them in Galaxy's Edge.
Here's another trivia question for everybody. What was the name of the first fireworks show to debut at Walt Disney World? This one comes from our nighttime entertainment history episode.
Ooh.
And I like Gil says, it needs an update, that's for sure. The Beast change sequence is hilarious, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
Just throw a little sheet around it.
Hey, those people are working hard shaking that blanket, all right?
Yeah, right.
Oh. I'm going to say this, and I also hate that I'm going to say this, but I want more Hollywood Studios stuff announced for D23.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa,
like
I'm just gonna say the trivia question was answered correctly, and I was surprised how quickly people got that, because I did not know that.
And it was both it was Sam and Charlie that got that right, but Sam beat Charlie to the punch. Now they're actually tied for first place.
So question, Sam and Charlie, if you do both happen to win prizes, can we send it in one package? Is that cool?
Oh gosh, yeah, the UK shipping.
I'm trying to think about my D23 predictions.
Yeah, I probably should have warned you guys that I was going to ask that first.
I feel like there's got to be a ton of stuff about Epcot. But I definitely think I honestly, and it makes me sad to say it, but I think that Epcot is just going to become like IP City.
Peacock.
Like,
yeah.
because, and I know that what's his name starts with a B.
Bob Iger or
Oh
Bob
no,
Chapek?
what was the
Bob
second one?
Chapek.
Yes, like he wouldn't even say Future World whenever they were talking about it. So I feel like they're just like Epcot is already not what it was going to be, which is fine. I don't think that was really like a totally feasible idea, especially after Walt died. But I think that it's going to be like just not even like I don't think you'll be able to even see any inkling of the vision once they get done with whatever it is they're planning. And I think we're going to hear a lot about it at this D23.
I think we're definitely going to hear a lot about Future World. I mean, obviously we know some stuff's coming, but yeah, there's a lot for them to announce. My prediction is, I really have nothing to base this on, but it's kind of been in the rumor mill for so long, and I feel like with all the other changes coming to Epcot, that it would kind of be cool if they did it now, but to bring another pavilion to World Showcase.
Yeah,
That's been a big rumor recently that that's coming. I also think
was officially announced.
I don't think it was
so.
official. It was probably one of those things where it was an unofficial Disney site that announced it. I'm throwing air quotes out there. Anybody that has been on the internet in the last couple months,
but
yeah, everyone that's been on the internet in the last couple months know what we're talking about. I want to say that alongside of that, I think I hate to say this because I feel like I'm the only one that defends it, but we're probably going to see changes to the Imagination Pavilion. I know Disney said the land and seas are safe, so I can't really think of anything else that's gonna that could have something else feasibly move into it. I would like them to go back to some of the original stuff, maybe update it and like bring some new life to it. But if anything, Disney has shown that they don't know what to do with Figment anymore. Hello, my website fell. Disney has shown that they don't know what to do with Figment besides make him the character for Food and Wine and festivals.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, bring back the old Imagination, like Journey into Imagination, like with some updates. People would love that on one hand because people have been asking for it and people that remember the original attraction would love to see it. But then it would also just be a better ride. So even people who weren't nostalgic for the original would probably be excited about it.
Yeah.
I think they need to put something really desirable in there because it's kind of out of the way. And I think people just miss it and there's like no reason to walk over there. And if they had something there, it would really eat a lot of people.
I mean, but the Pixar Short Film Festival is over there too, right? Like,
well, and that's such a shame because like that took the place of Captain EO, which a lot of people loved. Like, there's so many things that they could do. I know I've heard people say that like the last couple showings of Captain EO weren't great, so maybe the theater is not in the best condition. But there's the technology in that pavilion to do so much, and they just don't want to.
Oh my God! Somebody said make it a Spyro the Dragon ride. Yes. Yes.
No. Keep it the purple dragon that that we love.
We've got some questions that
yes.
are piling up. Favorite ride at Epcot? Go.
Oh God, Spaceship Earth. And going along with that, Allison said Spaceship Earth update might be interesting too. I kind of agree. I think that's an attraction that should always be changing.
Yeah. I'm going to say Mission Space. Orange only. Green sucks.
Yeah.
Green is for wimps.
I'm gonna go Mission Space too.
You guys are surprising me tonight.
Side or the good side?
Oh yeah, orange all the way. I did green last time just because I wanted to see the updated video, but
same.
Yeah,
it was boring.
Orange.
I'm gonna say Living with the Land.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Between Living with the Land and Spaceship Earth, those are my two favorite attractions in Epcot, and I feel like to someone that doesn't understand why I love those is such a weird thing. Like, I like the boat ride where you look at the plans and the ride.
I will say that if you do the behind the scenes tour, it will give you a whole new appreciation for living with the land. Every time I ride living with the land now, I think about that tour and how awesome it was.
I want to
It
do it
is-
so bad.
Oh, it is so good, and it's cheap too. Like for Disney tours,
it's
so
$25 and it's
Yeah.
an hour. Like that's cheap for Disney for sure.
Oh, that's
Do
super
you guys
cheap.
think are going to be more additions to Magic Kingdom in addition to the Tron coaster?
No,
I personally
don't-
don't think there's going to be
Mhm.
anything big like ride or show or anything wise. I think it's going to be like maybe little updates for the 50th or special things happening that year that they're going to announce. But I mean, Fantasyland update is still pretty recent. So no, and I think that they're focusing so much on Hollywood and Epcot that they don't have the capacity and they can't take any more things down to do construction or work on
Yeah.
it because they don't have anywhere for people to go.
Yeah, and as far as Magic Kingdom, like I don't think Disney would ever let Magic Kingdom end up in anywhere close to the state that Hollywood Studios is in right now, where they've got a ton of construction and huge sections of the park closed down at one time. So I don't really see that happening anywhere close to that scale.
here's the other thing. They've done kind of construction in waves over the last couple years too, where like it was Magic Kingdom got it first with the new Fantasyland expansion and every, Animal Kingdom got Pandora, Hollywood Studios is getting Star Wars, Epcot is it's time, and I think that that's where we're going to see a lot of the changes now, at least for this upcoming D23. Maybe after that we'll roll back into some Magic Kingdom changes, but I think for now we're pretty much set.
Yeah.
Did everybody
Okay, hold
answer
on.
that?
Yes, but I have to stop right here because another one came up. Terry said, "What are your favorite resorts?" We're doing Port Orleans, Riverside. Good choice. New resort couple usually rent a house. Gotta say right now that's probably the best choice if you're doing a moderate. We've said that 1,000 times on the show.
Absolutely. Yep.
My favorite resort, Brian's favorite resort, in terms of moderates, of course. And I'm gonna say while you're there, go visit Bob.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely agree with Mario. Riverside is, and there's nothing else that comes close to value for a resort in my mind. So
Absolutely.
We had 2 people ask essentially dream country to have a pavilion that doesn't have one already.
Oh, that's a hard one. Wait, no, it's not because I've answered this before. I want to say that they should, and this is purely based on the fact that Epcot's moving into like IP COT territory. Give us Greece so I can have Hercules.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that it would be really cool to do like Pacific Islands. I mean, kind of like if they're going to do IP Moana. I think it would be really different from what's there, and there would be some cool opportunities.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I like your guys' options. For some reason my brain went to like Australia.
That would be cool.
I don't know how they would tie that in. It would it would have to just be the culture. Oh wow. What a
Rescuers
concept
Down
for
Under?
Epcot. Oh yeah, there you go. No, don't tell them that, Kristen. Let us just have a country.
Bob, stop listening right now. I know you listen every week.
Every week he does. I just want to say that All Time says favorite ride at Epcot is finding the car after drinking around the world.
It's a good one.
There was also a conversation about replacing the voice of the narration on Spaceship Earth, and I have to agree. Yeah, with Figment, that was Allison. But Raina also said that she would pick Julie Andrews or Neil deGrasse Tyson to replace the narration.
I'm going to stick with Dame Judy.
I like.
Yeah. I think if they replaced her, Julie Andrews would be a good pick, but I don't know how that would go.
Her voice is so soothing. Like whenever you go listen to One Man's Dream, it's just like could listen to it all day.
Yeah, I would say if he was still alive, Bob Ross.
Oh man, That's an excellent answer.
This is kind of like a weird
Oh,
side tangent. But I was telling you guys a while ago, I helped a friend out with a podcast that they do for like Disney movies, and we watched Home on the Range so I could torture myself. And Judi Dench is in that movie, and all I could think of was the Spaceship Earth narration.
I swear she paid to have that taken off her IMDb because I think I looked for it once to confirm and I couldn't find it.
well, she's going to be in the new Cats, so I'm not quite sure about her choices. With
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
That trailer looks like nightmare fuel.
Arya said Nemo is Australian. That's true.
That's
So
a good one.
That's
that
true.
was fun.
Yeah.
But he has
They
the
could
sea.
move. Well, they could move him out of the seas and retheme the seas pavilion.
To what?
I don't know. I can't think of anything else that would fit in there. You've got me
Yeah.
beat.
Somebody said Egypt. Kauai.
Ooh,
said
that's a
Ocean.
good
That would be
one.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Disney owns Fox now, so they could do Prince of Egypt.
Or you know what?
Let's not.
Peru, simply so they could have a whole pavilion for the most underappreciated movie ever, Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Ooh.
That would be really
Please.
cool.
Anyway,
Or-
was that all of the questions?
While
think
we're at it,
so.
let's retheme the America Pavilion to New Orleans.
Ooh, that would actually be pretty cool. Like, I would rather them just pick like more of a, like a subculture of America and actually do like go into the theming with it.
Yeah, let's go visit the worst time in American history during like Revolution.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if you do any kind of like American tourism stuff, it's all history related, and that's such an easy time to tie into it. But I do kind of agree it does need to be majorly rethemed.
Ooh. I'm going to ask this trivia question because I also have another piece of trivia based on this one. What year did Song of the South, parenthesis, the movie Splash Mountain is based on, close parenthesis, come out?
It's a good one.
So while we're waiting on answers to come in, we had Naomi ask, what is our favorite people watching memory at Disney? And also all time says watching birds steal food from guests. And I completely agree with that.
I think whenever I was doing my program there and there was this old couple that I stood behind, I know I've told this story once before, at Wishes, and they were like so cute and they just had their arms around each other and they were like right in the middle of the street, and I took a picture of them from behind, like as the firework was going over their heads, and I really wanted to be like, hi, you want this picture? Like, y'all are so cute. # goals, but I didn't.
You didn't want to be awkward. Like,
Yeah,
hey, I took a
it was
picture of
so
you.
cute. I still have it saved on my phone, which is kind of creepy, but they were adorable.
No, that is really cute. I would also say I have a memory from recently that was kind of funny. I was on the bus going from one park to another, and there was this little girl, and I have never probably related to anyone that I've overheard at Disney more than this, but she said something along the lines of, like, I have a few things to say about Disney. One, I do not want to leave. I do not want to go home. And 3, I am staying here. And I was like, preach on, girl.
Okay,
Oh, man.
trivia, Disney Dave got it right first, 1946. My add-on trivia is 1946 was a very important year because
Oh,
somebody
no.
very important was
Oh
born
my
that year.
gosh.
Who was born that year?
All right, this is an easy point.
Yeah, trick question. It was the answer to an earlier question too.
So fun people watching moment.
Bam,
that-
yes, it was there.
Fun people
That does
watching
not
moment.
count as a trivia question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna pull that one. I'm gonna pull override power on that, so that does not count as a trivia question.
Also, Kawaii Reina says Nemo could be rethemed to Journey to Atlantis, and I think that's a great idea.
I like that.
That would be interesting.
Ooh,
I mean, you literally are underwater.
Yeah.
so Juliet sent us a question via Facebook, she said that YouTube won't let her comment on the live show. She has a question for us. If our personality was a Disney resort, which one would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm.
That's a thinker, though. I got to think about that one. And while we think about that, let's throw another trivia question out there. This one, since we stole Kirsten's last one, what was the opening date for Wishes? That comes from our nighttime entertainment episode as well. I don't know. That question's really hard. What were you gonna say?
I was looking up at the questions that we need to go through after we finish this.
Okay.
Has anybody answered?
No, but
Okay.
I don't know. I'm thinking really, really hard on that one.
Let me see. Did somebody?
We did actually have someone get that correct. The first person that got it was Mallory.
Yes.
And it was October 9th, 2003.
Here's another question from Christina. What's one ride that needs a high-tech refurb? I feel like that's another one to think about.
Oh, that's I think that's super easy for me. I have already kind of said it. I think Journey into Imagination could totally benefit from a high-tech refurb, especially if the technology from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway works the way that they say it's going to. I know that that's a lot of screen-based stuff, but the way that they were describing that attraction was that it's going to go from 2D to 3D just purely based on that whole screen technology. They could do a lot of really neat stuff with that. And I know I've kind of said this before. I think Navi River Journey is the best way that they could have implemented screens for most of their stuff. There are some things that probably could have benefited from actually being an animatronic, like the part where the Navi are walking by and it's on a screen. I think that totally just is not right. But a lot of the technology where they put the animals on the plants and stuff like that, that is the perfect use. And I think that could benefit from a lot of more high-tech ride technology. But I don't know how much they'll do with that.
I would say, I might get hate for this, but I think Haunted Mansion, they could improve it so much, but keep basically the same ride. But if they, just kind of updated like the ghosts in the graveyard, because if you see those with the lights on, they're like, it's literally all the wires and stuff with plastic around it. Like there's nothing, there's no paint, no nothing. And like if they went to a trackless ride system, like Mystic Manor or whatever, I think it would really help because one, it could be a little more interactive. You could get in closer, like especially in that cemetery scene and like in the attic. And also they wouldn't have to stop you 5 times throughout the ride to load people, which is what's happening whenever they stop and say like you will resume momentarily or whatever. Which they have to do that to load like wheelchair guests and that sort of thing. But it also, I think, really takes you out of the ride.
That's good.
As much as I love Haunted Mansion, if they did some kind of trackless system in it, I think that's probably the best way to go.
I know this is not at all what the question was asking, but my answer is going to be Carousel of Progress. I would love to see some new technology in the final scene.
I'd see that's one that I think is always going to stay like just dated enough to be quaint and charming, and I'm okay with that.
A couple people are saying Peter Pan's flight needs an update. I could agree with that.
It needs to match the queue. Like the queue is so awesome and up to date now that it's better than the ride in my opinion.
Absolutely. Do you have one, Beth? Did we lose Beth?
I see Beth.
Can she not hear?
Maybe.
Well, then let's go back to resort. Do y'all know what resort y'all would be and why? Have you thought of that?
I'm putting that off.
This is tough for me because my favorite is the Contemporary because I really like it's modern, it's different, it's more sleek. But like I don't really feel like that resort has much of a Seoul, sadly. I wish I'd have more of one. So I'm going to have to say probably Grand Floridian because it's fancy.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of separate the ones we like the most with the ones that actually represent us. But I don't know. Like, I want to say Fort Wilderness, and I know a lot of that is just because I love it that much. But at the same time, too, it's like there's a ton of like goofy pun stuff and like just like hoop-de-doos there. And I guess I'm kind of that goofy, kind of personality kind of stuff. So because I love it and because of that, I'll say Fort Wilderness.
I still really got to think on this, guys. I'm having the same problem that you're having, where it's like it's hard to separate it from the ones that we like, because I immediately want to say like the Poly or Port Orleans, but like those don't really fit my personality.
Let's see. A couple people are
We
saying the teacups need to be updated. We need Yeti sponsored mugs. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Small World, it has an old person smell. I personally love Small World. If y'all are looking in the chat, there's a girl named Allison Snyder. She's terrified of it. So my favorite thing is to video the creepy old like clowns with the jewel eyes and send them to her in slow-mo whenever I'm on it. Let's see. What else?
Someone else asked, what's the best meal you've had at Walt Disney World?
I would say Ohana.
Yeah, that was where I was gonna go. I can't beat it.
Nope.
Can I say Ghirardelli milkshake? I would have to say probably either the first time I went to Le Cellier way back, like 12 years ago, or else Cali Grill.
It's a good one.
Is Beth back?
I am. What's the question? Sorry, my audio went out.
Best meal you've had at Disney World?
Best meal. Honestly, I don't think they serve this anymore, but at Satuli Canteen when they first opened, they had these like curry, like vegetarian curry bao bun, like the pods.
Oh, I remember that.
And they were so good, and I was really sad when they stopped serving them.
Another one that I'm sad about not being there anymore. Be Our Guest changed their menu when they went prefix, and there was a
Oh, special guest.
Hi, baby. Hi, night. Can I have a kiss?
Night.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's my mic. That's the computer. Night. Say bye-bye.
I just lost my good night.
So cute.
I just lost my entire train of thought. That was so cute.
What a special guest. Aw.
It always not to like relate this back to the podcast, but it always makes me feel old realizing that or not feel old, but it makes me feel like weird thinking of the fact that Kirsten has a baby as old as our podcast. We started this when you were pregnant with Eli.
In case anybody doesn't know, he is named after Walt and Roy. His name is Oliver Elias, and Oliver was Roy's middle name, and Elias was Walt's middle name. But he goes by Eli. So.
And he's super cute.
And everybody is saying hello and all to Eli. So basically, Eli just took over this podcast. Is what's happening.
That was some 2-year anniversary magic.
Station baby.
Station baby.
I have a trivia question if we want to do that before we move on.
Sure, go ahead.
This is one of my favorite ones. What was the price of admission on opening day at Disney World? Might be a lot less than you think.
Spoilers. I'm still thinking about that resort question. I am really hung up on that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a real good thinker.
Ooh, we got some people that are very close.
We'll say it's an even. It ends with an
There it
even.
is.
Oh, okay.
Who
Yep.
got it?
Amanda got it. $3.50.
It's another person that wasn't on the board before.
It
It's a nice mix of people, though.
really
Yeah.
is. We're like gonna have to put these in a random generator or something if we keep getting people that answer a question.
Yeah.
Disney Dave asked, "Do I have any horror stories from working as a cast member?" Yes, a million. I try to remember the good parts, but yes, I could do
We'll do it. Let's do a whole episode on it.
horrible guests, but I did have some really good guests too. That's what I try to think about. Yes,
So-
I'd say the worst one was that I already talked about when the guy ripped my name tag off. 'Cause they're magnets. That was scary because I thought I might get punched by this giant man.
Mm.
That would be a fun episode to do.
We'll have to get Allie on here for that one because she's still a cast member, like seasonally.
We could do a voice changer on her so she doesn't get in trouble.
Maybe
Um,
call her by her name.
I'm
There's
sure
lots
there's like
of
1,000.
alleys.
Yeah. So we're rounding out like the last 10-ish minutes of our live show. So I think we should talk about looking forward, things that we want to do for the future, and then we can throw out a couple more trivia questions just to even this out. What do you guys think? And then I'll still think about my resort one because I want to answer that before we leave.
Oh, also just one more thing. Are we going to go over the responses that people wrote into?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
what
having
responses we got
fun, so we don't have to stop at 10 if y'all don't want to.
yet.
We can round it out and end when on a good spot.
Yeah, I mean we can let this go for a little bit too if you want. So what do you guys want to do for the future of the podcast? Maybe some like resolutions and stuffs and things that we want to talk about. I know cast member horror stories is on our list of things to do.
Apparently.
If we could get anybody else on, like Yeehaw Bob again, would be incredible. Like someone at that level that
Lee
is so.
Cockrell.
Oh gosh, that is it.
People at his local Starbucks. If you go in, I think he's like it's one day a week. He goes there and he'll talk to anybody who's there to talk to him. So Brian, get on that.
All right.
I'll start sending out emails, but that is that is kind of where I want to go with it too. I want to be able to talk to some people that have made magic for us or have made magic for guests or have built things in the park. Like that's ideally what I want to talk about on this show. I like having conversations with people behind the scenes and, getting to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I'd also like to do some more like collaborative stuff with other podcasts. I think that would be fun.
Oh yeah, those have all been fun that we've done.
Yeah, I really enjoy the ones where we had guest hosts that weren't necessarily. Hey, speaking of which, got a guest. One of our guest hosts is in the chat now, Jerry Skids from Mouse Rants podcast. That was a super fun one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Super fun too. We did 2 with him.
Oh yeah.
Kawhi did say, if it helps, CMs are always the best part of my Disney trips. I'm glad. I know from all of my other people that I know that were CMs, and I will say I do remember the bad ones, but I also my heart gets happy when I think about the people who genuinely said thank you, and meant it. I would go back and do it again if I was rich.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
History episodes, I would say that's mine. I really like doing the history stuff. I just feel like I'm so busy because of that cute little station baby that
Station baby.
Then I don't have time to do as much research, but I think that would be fun to read more books and talk about history and Imagineering and what is happening to Brian.
I don't know. Is it affecting the actual video? I can see it out of the corner of my eye.
Look like Twilight Zone.
I would also say another big goal is to have a meetup and maybe even do a live episode in the parks with the 4 of us and maybe even some of you listeners. I think that would be really fun.
We'll have to start like putting a Patreon together to fund that. Like,
Right.
I would absolutely love to do a meetup. That would be so much fun. A funny thing about this is, kind of in retrospect, it's weird how, and I know this kind of really only affects Brian, that like we all started as like just random people that you guys commented on a Reddit post, and now we've met up in the parks, except for Kirsten. We can't validate her identity.
I'm not a real person.
Okay, she's coming to South Carolina in September, so I can validate it
Not
then.
anymore.
But like,
You're not coming anymore?
No, meeting shares really expensive.
It's because she secretly doesn't want us to know if she's real.
Really a 50-year-old man in a basement.
because she's secretly shared.
She's
That's
an
what it is.
AI.
Oh.
Okay, well, I take it back, but anyway.
But yeah, like it's so cool that we've gone from like being able to, or just commenting on a Reddit post, to being able to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Florida if you guys are all down there. Like, you know, I literally Facebook messaged Brian one day. I was like, hey, if you want to meet up, let's go to Trader Sam's, and like we hung out for a couple hours. Like, that's so much fun and so cool that we went from like just commenting on a Reddit post to being like actual friends.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said 50th. Yeah, I'm gonna be there on the day of the 50th. So
Same.
if we made a meetup then, like
I'm pushing for it, so maybe.
like come hell or high water, that is where I will be. I don't care if I have to hitchhike, whatever.
Yep.
I guess I have to put in the least amount of effort, so I have to be there. Right?
Duh.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So do you guys want to answer any more of these questions, or do we want to just start throwing some trivia out so we can get some of
First,
these scores up?
I think a couple people said thing, but I think that we should really, emphasize that, like, if y'all have ideas for a show, tell us, because I feel like a lot of times we're just like, what do we talk about? Like, if other people have ideas, we would gladly take them. So if you have legit ideas, send them to us.
Mm-hmm.
To pull back the curtain a little bit, we go week to week. So honestly, at this point, we're probably going to get off this call, decide what we're going to do next week, plan for it for a week, and then record next Thursday. And that's going to be how it goes. And then next Thursday, we'll discuss the following week. So if you have something that you want to hear, we usually try to put that at the top of our list and prioritize what our listeners want to hear, because we know that you guys are the ones that are listening to us. So we want to talk about stuff that you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion project.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I got some other trivia stuff on here. Here's an interesting one. A version of what popular Disney parade made its way up to New York City to coincide with what Disney movie's theatrical release? So, a two-part question.
This is a very, very difficult one, I would say.
Yes, it is.
Well, while we're waiting on answers, I think we should definitely take the time to read the feedback that we had sent in specifically for this live stream.
Yes.
Because we really appreciate you guys sending that stuff in.
And I want to say that this must have not been as hard as I thought it would be, because Disney Dave got that right away.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
And that was a very close second by Caitlin. So.
Wow. That is impressive.
Goodness.
Disney Dave tied for first place with Charlie and Sam.
Ooh, conspiracy theories episode. I'm into it. That was one of the suggestions in there.
There is here, actually, because Allison said that she would like a video of this because she's never heard of it. There's actually a video by Rob Plays on YouTube that talks about that exact thing. That's actually where I got that information from, and he's got some pretty good video in there. I just linked it in our chat, but he's got some actual video of the parade going through New York City. Speaking of that, there's another question that I have that's kind of related to that, but now that I sent that video, I can't ask it because the answer isn't there.
It'd be cheating now.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go with the feedback. You can talk about that, and I'll pull out some other questions in here.
Cool. So we had Amanda write in. I've been listening to the show for almost a year, and I absolutely love it. My favorite episodes were Brian's Disney Cruise review, the engagement episode, and all of the history episodes. Keep up the good work, you guys. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, the Disney cruise was definitely, you know, for someone that's gone for as long as I have, like to be able to get a completely new Disney experience and like go into something without really having much of an idea of what was going to happen was really cool. Like as much as I love Disney, like that part of it is kind of gone until new stuff comes out. So like doing the Disney cruise was kind of like going to Disney World all over again. So I would highly recommend it.
It's definitely on my list. So then we have Kelly, who says, just wanted to say how much I love the show, and I've recommended it to all my fellow Disney lovers. I love listening whenever I'm missing some magic in my day and helps keep me motivated on my runs. Training for the Dopey Challenge 2020. Question for everyone, what is your earliest Disney World memory? I've been going to Disney World with my family since 1999, and one of my earliest memories is watching Spectra Magic sitting in Frontierland. Thanks for everything you guys do, and cheers to 2 years.
So
Rest in peace, Spectro.
Funnily enough, we actually talked about this exact thing on our last episode that came out on Wednesday.
Yep. Did a whole episode about what Disney means to us. So go and check that one out, and you can get a real in-depth answer to that question.
I wasn't on that one. So
Kirsten can.
I didn't go to Disney World until I was in 9th grade. I would definitely say like the first day walking into the Magic Kingdom and finally seeing the castle, because I'd wanted to go for like ever. I'm like crying a little bit. And then that night we didn't know anything. We didn't have reservations. We didn't know what time fireworks were, nothing. But I remember we had just finished eating at Liberty Tree Tavern, and we walked outside and Wishes was happening. And I was like, and then the love affair began.
And the rest is history. Any other feedback stuff?
We have Aria. I think it's Aria. It might be Araya. I don't know. Correct us in the chat. We've been saying Aria, so I'm going to go with that. Just wanted to drop in and say I'm so grateful that I found this podcast. Such a fun way to receive new info, play along with games, and get my Disney fix. I love hearing everyone's perspectives on the parks and Disney as a whole. I love game superlative episodes, as I often find myself playing along, and it gives my husband and I questions to ask each other on our own trips to pass the time. Question. This could turn into a lengthy episode topic, but if you had to sit down and detail your dream day at Disney World, whatever that looks like, money is no object here, what would that look like? Food, friends, lodging, transportation, shopping, entertainment, etc. Also, would y'all ever do meetups in the parks? Looks like my husband and I are planning a trip for the 50th. So she actually was the one that mentioned that in the chat a second ago too. So you already know the answer to that. But yeah, that sounds like a fun episode to do.
I feel like we've done some similar stuff, but not one that's like like our dream day with no constraints.
Like I know 2 that we've done are how could we
they don't
plan
sound
to put
fun.
the most both of like how we could do the most things in one day and how we could spend the most money in one day. Those were fun, but by no means would that be my dream day at Disney.
It was fun to do the episode, but it wouldn't be fun to actually live what we did, like as our plans, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
It's Mariah, like Mariah without the M. I bet people confuse
Mariah,
especially after Game of Thrones.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely add that to our list. I would love that. Sounds like a genuinely like fun day that I could think of.
Yeah, and superlatives, like if you have superlative ideas, send them in, because I feel like we are like
We are
Dry.
out.
in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
on superlatives. I feel like we need to start over at the beginning again or something.
Kind of. At this point, I think we were pretty much done. People used to send us a lot of those, and then I think we just did too many superlative episodes. We learned to space them out a little bit now, so hopefully it's a little bit better for you.
Yeah. And our last listener feedback from the official form that we put out. What was your most memorable experience in Disney World and favorite memorable experience on the podcast so far? Which we kind of answered both of those already. I enjoyed listening to this podcast so much over the last year and a half. It helps me get by between Disney trips. I feel like I've almost gotten to know you all through just listening about every week. There are times when I literally laugh in my car along with y'all and can't thank you guys enough for the entertainment. So thank you, Mallory. That's really sweet.
Mhm.
That was really sweet. I know I say this a lot, but that is why we do this. Like Kirsten said, it is kind of a passion project, and every time I see like a new comment on the Facebook posts that we put up, or an email come in from someone that's listened, or an iTunes review, like that stuff makes my day. It means that we're doing this thing that we really do enjoy sitting here talking every week, but someone out there's listening, and
Mhm.
that's really exciting.
Yeah,
And I
for
mean,
sure.
really, like before we did this, I was in the same boat. Like I love listening to Disney podcasts. This was back before I moved to Florida, and didn't get to go nearly as often as I did, and it was great getting to listen to other people talk about it and kind of get me in between that. And I always thought, like, man, it'd be so cool to do Disney podcasts, and I was like, well, I don't have any of the technical knowledge behind how to do that. And then when Mario put that post up so long ago and I replied to it, I just kept thinking, well, I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do this. People are going to care to listen to me and any of that kind of stuff. And like, it's been so much fun and like doing this and everything. And to know that like, hey, it's cool. I'm getting to kind of do that and give people that bit of Disney while they're away from it. Like I used to get from other podcasts. So
Yeah,
And-
Will had been telling me like start a Disney blog, but I was like, I don't go often enough, to have like, because I feel like everybody who's really big in the Disney community, they go for every opening and every new restaurant, and like I can't make that happen. So yeah, I was also looking for an outlet for my Disney love. Would anybody be interested in a share podcast?
literally no one.
Oh. He's got to hit you back as much crap as you give him for
I
Country
know.
Bears.
She started it.
It's a civil war up in here.
Mallory said, finally moving to Florida, like actually tomorrow, and activating my annual pass August 14th. A lot of it thanks to you guys.
Aw, yay.
So that means we can
That's
see what you
awesome.
write.
Yeah.
So I want to throw this trivia question out and see if anybody gets it. So this is kind of a little bit of a dig back in the Station 71 vault. Our 2018 April Fool's Joke episode, we changed our name of the podcast and the theme. What was the name that we changed it to, and what was the theme of the show?
That's good, because if you know why ours is called what it is, and if you know what we talked about, then you should be able to figure out what we called that episode.
Yes. You got to have both of them. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, there we
There it
go.
fast. That was really fast. That was Jill?
Gil.
Jill?
I don't know.
One or the other. Yeah. Good job.
Okay, last fun question. Do y'all see this? Disney attraction you're on has malfunctioned and it's stuck on repeat for 10 hours. You're trapped and can't leave. What attraction are you stuck on? Tower
It's a
of
small
Terror.
world for some reason. That was like the nightmare fuel that popped into my head.
Wait, are we going
we
for
get to
best or
pick?
worst?
Oh, wait. Are we going? I
No,
thought we
we
were going for
Dude,
worst.
Tower of Terror, just up and down for 10 hours straight.
Oh,
my
God. That
God,
sounds painful
That's
throw
too.
up.
awful.
I'd be okay with it.
Oh man, I'm thinking like if I'm stuck in one spot, what would I want for 10 hours?
I will say I got stuck on Journey into Imagination in one spot for 5 minutes, and it felt like 10 hours. So does that count?
Oh,
Gosh.
all I could think is like being stuck in the smell room. That would be like the worst.
Oh no.
I would want to be indoors, air conditioned, with nothing yelling in my face.
You know what would have been a great ride for that, but it's not there anymore? Universe of Energy.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because that's like
Time.
two trips around, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she said it's Jill, just spelled stupidly. That's how I feel about my name. It's Kristen, but not.
Sorry. Here's another one. What attraction won our 2019 March Magic bracket?
Ooh, that should be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy. Sam said Stitch's Great Escape for 10 hours. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Disney Dave said Haunted Mansion. That would
That's
be correct.
Surprise, surprise.
it.
Speaking of Haunted Mansion, Terry says we were stuck on Haunted Mansion with our son who was so scared of it actually being haunted. Not fun. That sounds
Aw.
horrible. I am so sorry. Flight of Passage was a very close second, if I remember correctly.
But Flight of Passage is only like 8 minutes long, so it'd be
no,
like.
no, I meant for the brackets.
Oh, I was thinking for the stuck on it for 10
I
hours.
feel like it would be hot. That would be a workout to hold on to that motorcycle for that long.
Yeah.
Definitely Tower for me.
Can I go living with the land and I can go have some snacks
That'd be good.
That's
out of the
great, yeah.
greenhouse?
That is good. That is good.
Except for, I will say, one time I was on Living with the Land and we're like getting on, and as it's starting to go through into the dark spot, I see this giant cockroach like come up like on the boat, and then I sliver into a little like nail hole or something. And
Oh no.
I ride it. I have my knees up like,
Yikes.
yeah.
I think I would say either Midway Mania or Space or Buzz Lightyear, just because like.
Are you trying to lose your hand if you?
Well, okay, yeah, I would definitely not have an arm anymore.
That's like
if it was Midway Mania, but it's kind of like playing a video game. Like you shouldn't get bored with it. You can always just keep trying to beat your score, right?
Yeah, but you're going like this the whole time.
But if you're there
Like,
for 10 hours, you can like slow it down, use your other hand.
Yeah, I'll start using my feet after a while too.
yeah, the real challenge.
That's
You guys are
must be how people get the high scores, because I don't know how people get those high scores on that ride.
It hurts.
Yeah. You guys are gonna laugh at me too, because I would also say American Adventure, just because that's a good nap spot.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I got a couple harder trivia questions that we can throw out there and see if anybody gets them. All of these come from our episodes too, so we'll start with this one, which might be a little bit easier. When did pin trading begin in the Disney parks? And it was for something special, so that's your hint.
I think this is gonna be difficult for people to. The year might okay.
If you can give me the actual. Oh nope, Mallory got it. That was.
We underestimate our listeners, guys. They know their stuff.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people got that too. And it was for the Millennial Celebration. And let's see, what other ones do I have in here? Just because I want to throw as many points at the wall as I can before we wrap this up. The initial concept for Pirates of the Caribbean was actually not set to be a ride, but instead was set to be a what? This one, I feel like this one's hard. Oh.
There it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Do we want to count the museum, or do we want to count it as a wax museum?
I think
Wax Museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a museum is very different from a wax museum.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
One is creepy and one is not, typically.
Ooh, here's one. What nighttime projection show featured photographs of guests taken throughout the day by PhotoPass photographers?
I love this one.
Kirsten has a special love for this show, I think.
This was such a cool
Wasn't it you?
concept.
Yes, because is it cheating if I say that I worked there when it came out.
Well, Allison got that one,
Oh.
so.
Did you ever see your picture?
No. I mean,
Oh.
the quality on those pictures was not great, first of all.
No,
Yeah.
but the concept was so cool. Like
I know.
was.
and the
putting
music
something
is
in.
bomb. Like, I'm still
Oh, yeah.
sad that I don't have the music.
Sam said celebrate the magic, which is not the answer, but also had a bomb soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right, I have one because this was a very interesting fact that I learned while doing research for the episode. But from start to finish, how long did construction on the Enchanted Tiki Room last?
Oh, I love this one.
How far we've fallen.
Let's see. And I guess I'm not sure how lenient we should be with the answer to this.
Depends on what kind of answers we get in, I think.
Yeah. Agree.
Nope. We are all overshooting this.
See these.
About how long Disney construction takes now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting some close ones.
I like
Closer. There we go.
Charlie.
That's
Yeah.
it. It was 3 months. I was so surprised when I learned this that it did not take much longer than that.
Can you imagine them building anything in 3 months now? They couldn't build a sidewalk in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, they just now started back on that sidewalk, the walkway to the TTC, I think it was.
It's going to the Grand, which I'm actually
Right.
really surprised because the reason that aren't any other resorts around it's too swampy, and like they put so many pylons in, especially in between the Contemporary and the Poly, and so that was my understanding of why there was not a walkway. Was the land is just not good for it, but I guess they're going to make it work, which they should.
Yeah.
But
So someone throw out a random number, and that's how many more trivia questions we'll do. Just
One of us
because.
or one of them?
Yeah, one of us, because that'll end up with like all of the trivia questions.
3.
3. Okay, 3 works for me. I like this one on here. This one's a real hard one, but this has been on 2 episodes now. What Imagineer was behind both the Pepper's Ghost effect in the Haunted Mansion and the fire effect in Pirates of the Caribbean? That's a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one.
We're gonna make this hard for y'all now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of 4 and 5 in here, so I think maybe we can push one more. Hope we're getting some names.
I have a hint if people aren't getting it after a couple of guesses.
I think your hint might give it away.
So I'm gonna let people guess a couple more times.
Got a lot of names that we have talked about, though.
I think a hint would be good. I
Yeah,
think we
give him
can
a
give
hint.
one without giving it away. His namesake.
Yeah, he has a much closer connection to the Haunted Mansion outside of being an Imagineer.
That should be a dead giveaway. Pun intended, yes.
Dead.
Oh.
I have another just awful hint. There it is. Thank you for not making me say what I was going to say.
I want to know.
I was going to say he was technically a character in the live-action Haunted Mansion movie. And I didn't want to have to say that. So
yeah.
Yale Gracie is the answer.
Yes.
See, I have one. What Imagineer came up with the concept for Splash Mountain while stuck in traffic on his commute home?
I love this one, too.
I love this person.
We've heard of like a lot of really cool stuff. Like we found a lot of cool stuff while doing these history episodes, and I think that's what makes it so much like more worth it than just like learning a little bit about Disney. Like this fun fact is something I never would have looked for.
Definitely my third favorite Imagineer of all time.
That's a great hint, right?
Mallory.
Nice.
Yes. Tony
And it
B.
is, yeah. Oh,
So
we
who
have
are-
a four-way tie for first place with Disney, Dave, Sam, Charlie, and Mallory, all with 3
Oh.
points.
So
right.
getting those 3 questions helped us out no
None.
bit.
We got 2 more. I think we could do 2 more, and
Hopefully we'll have a tiebreaker there.
yeah.
Get y'all's fingers ready.
Do you want to do a really hard one?
Let's do one that you would only know if you listen to the podcast like
And have, like,
regularly, maybe.
perfect memory.
Hmm.
No, like regularly. Like
Okay.
one about us or something. Maybe
What
that'll
do
make
we
it.
hold on? What do we consider the Station 71 bingo? The 3 things that we have to talk about
Yeah,
on
that's a
every
good one.
episode.
That's
all
a
3
good
of them. I
question.
need all 3 of them.
I like it.
And we've talked about all 3 of them tonight too.
Yep.
I think this should be our deciding one. This should be
Yeah.
our final one. Oh, never mind. We can't, because Naomi got it, and they're all right. So
I'm
we
glad
throw
to
one
see
more
so
out.
many true fans in the chat.
I don't
And Haunted
know.
Mansion.
I don't know. I think Disney Dave was the specific answer though, which is
Which one?
Beth drinking, not just drinking in general.
Well, yeah.
And Amanda throwing in the Haunted Mansion too. That is an honorable mention on most episodes.
Mhm.
Oh, she said she's not participating, so give the point to someone else. So I think Disney Dave is close enough or closer. So yeah.
However, Mallory was the next one that said share Country Bears and alcohol.
All right. Well, let's
So-
just let that one be a fun one, and it won't be worth a point, maybe,
Yeah, that's fine. We can throw another question out there.
because it wasn't technically wrong. It just wasn't the specificity that we were looking for.
I don't think I have any on here that are like deep cut Station
I'm
71.
looking at one, and I mean, I would love to end this with a pun for sure.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
All right. What punny name was given to the 4 main birds of the Enchanted Tiki Room while it was in development?
Oh, I'm so happy you picked this one.
It's a collective name, just to specify, not 4 separate names.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they were all 4 referred to this collectively. I would be so happy if someone gets this.
Drum roll.
This will make my night. I might have to start giving hints.
crickets.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, we're getting some.
It's
By all means, too, if you want to throw multiple guesses out, do it, because I don't think
It's a
anybody's...
toughie. Yeah. It's
Oh.
either you know it or you don't.
I will say,
Dabber Disney Daddy Dogs.
some people are getting there's some closeness here. There's
we're
Ooh.
Oh, we're
That
getting
is-
we're
it
getting
is-
warmer.
I
that
will
is
say
a good one though.
here's
They should have.
here's a hint. If you combine 2 of the answers that are already given, you might be close. The Haunted Tiki Burps.
We're getting close.
Yes, Allison is giving a hint there for us. Something about macaws.
Mm-hmm.
Because of their claws.
All right. Let's think. They were also, what were they? The first representation
This
of
is
a
a
new
really
technology.
hard one.
It is a
hard
tough one.
This is a really hard one.
But that's it, man. This is like the last one. They got that is so good. We might have to scrap this one and do a different
think
question.
You guys have given some great
Oh
answers.
my gosh, some of these. Well, they're getting even closer now that I've
Yeah.
said that. The mechanimatronics. That's good, and it's
That's
very,
really,
it is
really close.
very
Are we-
close.
Are we gonna keep letting this one roll out, or
I'm gonna see about 2 more guesses, and I think we're gonna have to pick another one.
I think the worst part about this one is that this is probably like something you cannot Google to figure out.
Right. All right. Animatronics is very close, but what's the official name for an animatronic? There's usually another word in front of that's used to distinguish.
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh,
Hey!
hey.
That's
it,
close
yes.
enough. Yes.
That's it.
Allison, Macaulio.
So, guys, I hate to
Now
break
we
it
have
to you.
a 5-way tie.
Oh no.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
do a final question, and we're only gonna just only take answers from those 5 or something.
Yeah, so
Who
Disney,
is the
Dave,
ultimate
Sam,
winner?
Charlie. Yeah. So
Okay.
Disney, Dave, Sam, Charlie, Mallory, or Allison, you're the only people that can answer this question. And
Worth
Alright.
a point anyway.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
everyone highlight one in here that you want to do, because that way we can I like this one. The red one. Or this one.
I like the yellow, but I don't really care.
I think the first one is surprising.
I do too, and because
Yeah.
the other ones, one of the other ones is going to be very easy, and the other one I think is going to be very hard to answer specifically. But yeah, the first one, I think that should be the one.
Okay.
So I think also, to make this fair, the 3 remaining participants should only get 1 guess at this. So your first
Okay,
answer
yeah.
should count.
Let's play this like closest to that gets it. Or well, no, never mind, because this is I get where we're going with this. Never mind.
Yeah.
You got a 25% chance of getting it right.
Yeah. So the final question that only
The
Disney,
5.
Dave, Sam, Charlie, Mallory, and Allison are able to answer is, which of the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks is the smallest? And you have the choice of Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, or Hollywood Studios for main parks. Sam's guess is MGM. Hollywood Studios, Hollywood Studios.
Oh. Don't say anything until we have all the answers.
Down to Allison. It's the last person to guess.
Hogwarts.
There we go.
That's good.
Allison.
It is
Allison
actually
takes it.
Magic Kingdom.
Which is super surprising to me. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel
Really?
like it.
It
Does
feels
anybody
right to
know?
me because Disneyland is so small, and they always talk about, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
because we know Animal Kingdom's huge.
Right.
Mhm.
Does anybody
But-
know how big Magic Kingdom is? Because that's kind of surprising. In comparison, we'll put it this way, because I'm bad with like land sizes. Animal Kingdom, the largest park, is 580 acres. Oh,
Pretty close.
close, yeah.
I think it's surprising that it's the smallest to me because it feels like there's the most to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there is, like, the
definitely
most
to
crammed
do.
in. Mallory
Everything else
coming
has a
in
lot of dead space. Like the Animal Kingdom has the safari, obviously. Epcot has a giant lake with countries where there's really not a ton to do. And Hollywood Studios did have Streets of America.
Yeah. Amanda threw out
That's
the fun
kind
fact.
of true. If you don't count the World Showcase Lagoon, I wonder if that's still true. Like if you only count land area.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet.
true.
I don't know. Somebody should do that math. Anybody that can do math, do that.
No, not I. Amanda threw out the fun fact that you can fit all of Disneyland Resort into Magic Kingdom's parking lot.
Yo.
That's wild.
And to answer the question, because
yeah.
everybody keeps asking or keeps throwing guesses out, it's 170 acres.
Yeah.
Actually, these other people were right. I think we have a typo in there. It is 107 acres.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. That is my bad.
So, but that's really
Sorry,
crazy
guys.
to think about that it's like less than a fifth the size of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
But I
Allison
also
says-
wonder how much of Animal Kingdom isn't even guest facing because it's like animal houses.
Yeah, that's
a good
the
point. Allison also said
Like,
to think
World
Disney still
Disney
has.
Big
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Do we want to throw the other prizes out there?
Well, we got to see. Well, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and pick the winners at random. We could put those into a generator, huh?
Yeah, sure. First, before we do that, Allison has to pick her prize because we were saying the trivia gets the first pick of the prizes. I'm assuming she wants the Tangled pin because her comment earlier was that she wasn't fully committed till she saw the Tangled pin.
I have a randomizer whenever we're ready, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So Allison wants the Tangled pin. And I guess should we just ask at random like who wants what as we go? So we have
when we pick it, I think we should ask what they want. 'cause
Right,
they're
right.
Technically the next person in line, yeah.
Okay, so what we have left is the Tiana pin, the Splash Mountain pop, and the Haunted Mansion pop, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Ryan now has both of them.
All right, so we got our randomizer up. And our next winner is going to be Araya.
Is Araya
So let
still
us know.
here?
Let us know in the chat what prize you would like.
I do not think that she's still here. It doesn't show her in the participants, but we'll give it a second and see.
Where do you see the list?
If you click on the little dots, are you signed in as the podcast or are you signed in? Oh,
It
okay.
didn't let me, and I didn't want to close it again because that's how I got left out the last
Sorry.
time. There
There she
Yeah.
is. Splash Mountain pop.
You got it.
Someone making note of these prizes in their own.
Yes. Let me
Okay.
I'll jot them
So
down.
we don't forget.
Allison gets the pin.
Tangled pin.
And Araya gets the Splash Mountain Pop.
All right, so next winner, you get to pick from Haunted Mansion or Tiana pin. Charlie.
Woo. They also said earlier, I don't know if you saw this, that we don't have to ship it to the UK if you want to deliver it to them when they go down in September. But that's on you.
Tiana pin. Cool. That's pretty cheap to ship, I'm sure, because it's so small, right?
Yeah.
All right. So last winner, you will be getting a Haunted Mansion pop
Fabulous
vinyl.
I'm
pop
surprised
vinyl.
that's the last one
I
that,
know.
that is there.
I
Y'all
mean,
know what I
it's
had
cool.
to do to get this?
All right, last winner, Amanda. So,
Woo.
congrats to all our winners. If you
Yeah.
haven't already submitted your address on our Google form, do that so that we can ship you your prize.
Yes.
The link is
Here, do you want me to just type it in the chat?
yes. We'll type it in the chat, but I'll also say it.
Yes.
Go to bit.ly/s71_2 number 2, not spelled out 2, year _ live stream. So bit.ly/s71_2 year _ live stream. And put your name and address in there.
Is anything capitalized? Because with
let's see.
Bitly,
I know
you have to do everything is case sensitive.
So S, Y in year and L in live stream are capitalized.
The links are all on the social media, right?
Yes.
They are.
Okay.
I'm gonna send this. Don't worry, I'm gonna send this to the Facebook chat.
Here, I have it. I can just put it in there if you want. Or if you already...
I got it. I just have to change the caps. Yeah.
Oh, Jill must also be in the UK.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
Yeah, so Jill said, congratulations all. Thank you for the fab podcast, Station 71. Even if it meant up to staying up till 2:30 a.m. All of our UK listeners are warriors for being up that late. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, seriously, that is awesome. Thanks for everybody that came out, though.
Thank you, guys.
It's always fun to do interactive stuff with people like this. So
yeah. And I think I don't know if I can speak for all of us, but I would love to do more live streams, just not just our anniversary episodes. So if you guys have an interest in that, let us know. This is super fun.
Like a hobo.
Yeah.
I think, would anybody be interested in us doing live streams around D23? I know we've talked about that. Maybe we can do some live episodes for that. Maybe discuss some of the stuff as it gets announced, or...
I would think the Sunday is the big park day, so I don't know how everybody's availability would be like on a Sunday night, but I think that's like the park day, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be watching it, so.
I think we all...
like that might listen.
All right, so let's...
You're talking to everybody else.
She knows none of us are going to have a problem with it.
Actually, I feel like something is happening that weekend.
Also, feel like what time, do we know what time it's going to be?
I don't know if they've set like times for the specific programs, have they?
Because it's California time.
Oh, that's true. So it's going to be later here.
Super late. Yeah, probably. And even later over in the UK, apparently.
That would be a lot of dedication.
Well, you know what? We'll post this around on our social media, and we'll see if we can get any, we'll post the dates and everything and see if we can get some feelers out for that. Because I would be interested in doing a live show for D23. I know we've all kind of discussed maybe doing that.
Can I interrupt? What is this?
No, you're fine.
Super chat, I believe, is where you can live stream and people can donate money as you're live streaming.
Oh, okay.
And their little name will pop up and be like, such and such donated $5 or whatever.
I'm too old.
Listen, the biggest thing that we're going to have to figure out is that YouTube is killing off Hangouts on air, which is how we do this. So I'm going to have to do some more tech work over here and figure out how to set up a stream this way. But we'll make it work. If people want more live streams, I would happily do it.
Yeah, and Super Chat could fund our meetup.
Yeah.
Extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so is there anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap this live show up?
It's been a great 2 years.
Yeah.
Looking forward to many more.
Yeah, me too. All right, so I'm going to try to do this. It's been a while since I've actually done the outro without pre-recording it, so here we go. And that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for joining us again on another episode of the Station 71 podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from.
Thank you.
Was that super loud? Because that
it was.
It was way too loud.
Let me turn that down, and we'll try that again. Take two. This is an actual live look at how awful it is to edit our
Pulling back the
podcast.
curtains.
Gosh. All right, come on.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and listening.
Yeah.
All right. I think maybe this is it. Let's try it one more time. Oh, now it's way underpowered.
That's definitely too quiet.
Really pulling back the curtain here. All right. Then that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for joining us again on another episode of the Station 71 podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from. While you're there, please leave us a review, as that helps us get some more exposure on the show, and we do happen to read those on your questions, comments, concerns on the show. If you want to find links to all of our social media, you can find them on station71podcast.com. We hope you enjoyed your ride, and we'll see you real soon.